Now, we're seeing the same thing on a different issue, but happening across the country. And like you said, if they were going with what public opinion is, they would be progressives. The same thing can be said about guns. Right now, there is a fascist, anti-democratic move taking place in Tennessee where lawmakers are being ousted from their jobs, voted out by their colleagues, not by voters. Republicans are kicking out of the chamber, kicking out of being representatives, multiple people. Now, it ends up, shocker, in Tennessee, that 3 people were on the chopping block, 2 black men, 1 white woman. The white woman got to stay. The 2 black guys, they get booted by the chamber, and it's over guns. What I predict is going to happen is this is going to cause voters in Tennessee, younger voters, to rise up with righteous indignation and take back power. That's yet to be seen, but it's chaos on the ground in Tennessee right now.
They walked in hand as the Tennessee Three. Only one walked out, still a lawmaker. Tennessee Representatives Justin Jones, Gloria Johnson, and Justin Pearson addressed their colleagues in Nashville. But Americans all over were also watching.
We shall not bow.
I have to raise the voice of the people in my district.
Our silence about gun violence is the antithesis of what is in the best interest of the people of the state of Tennessee.
Power to the people.
Here's why the 3 Democrats had their seats on the line. Last week's protest on the State House floor with a bullhorn. They were angry about the lack of debate over gun laws after the slaughter at Nashville's Covenant School last week.
Just because you don't get your way, you can't come to the well, bring your friends, and throw a temper tantrum with an adolescent bullhorn.
Outraged Republicans here have a supermajority, more than enough votes to expel the 3 Democrats.
What is happening here today is a farce of democracy.
Justin Jones defended himself first, defiant, passionate, and voted out.
The jury.
I hereby declare Representative Justin Jones of the 57th Representative District expelled.
Gloria Johnson went next, a former teacher who had a student die in a school shooting.
It's the guns. It's the people that have the guns, because we are not doing anything to make sure that people who are not safe don't have guns.
The measure to expel Johnson failed by 1 vote. Finally, Representative Justin Pearson spoke.
I don't personally want attention. What I want is attention on the issue of gun violence. But instead, we're here with a resolution you put up talking about expelling me for advocating for ending gun violence in the state of Tennessee.
Pearson, like Jones, expelled.
A state in which the Ku Klux Klan was founded is now attempting another power grab by silencing the 2 youngest black representatives.
After the hearing, Johnson was asked why her seat was saved while the other 2 lawmakers lost theirs.
It might have to do with the color of our skin.
Allegations of racism were both part of the debate and the reaction after the vote. White Republicans expelled 2 lawmakers, both of them young black men. Both Jones and Pearson could run for their seats again, but Wendy, the question in the minds of a lot of people here is, should they really have to?
Definitely. And Mark, is there any way to get this decision reversed?
No, there really isn't. I mean, at this point, the legislature has voted, and what they did was in order. I mean, by the book, according to the way the legislative rules are set. And at this point, you know, these guys, their seats are empty for now. The local county commissions in their 2 districts will appoint someone to sit in those seats, and then the governor will eventually appoint a special election. And again, Jones and Pearson could run for those seats, but it's just been very convoluted and complicated. And right now, there are thousands of Tennesseans who don't have representation. And again, it's in the minds of a lot of people, this has been a real stain on the state just because of the racial dynamics involved and the optics of 2 lawmakers being told to hit the road, and both of them young black men.
Another case of racists not minding looking like racists. here's the thing. You're going to hear a lot of people out there who are saying, well, if you want to pass a bill, you go through the proper channels and the proper parliamentary procedure, and you do what was necessary to get the bill passed. You debate it. If you fail, you fail. They shouldn't have participated in a protest with bullhorns on the floor of the Tennessee legislature. Maybe so. But to oust them is extreme, to say the least, especially when one of the three got to stay, the white lady.
Right.
There are many, many weapons at the disposal of the Tennessee majority that didn't have to include expulsion. There could have been a censure. There could have been fines. They took the nuclear route rather than do something more reasonable because they know their argument is losing. They're afraid of what is taking place. And rather than do the reasonable thing, they did the thing that is going to fire up the passions of the voters of Tennessee, the young people of Tennessee, the reasonable people of Tennessee. And this is not going to end well, in my estimation, for Republicans who are losing the information war and the battle of hearts and minds of people all over the country.
We recently received a message of someone telling us that when we say the word Republican, there is like hostility that underlies our tone.
Okay.
And I thought it was an interesting message because it kind of gets to the heart of this discussion that people want us to be, quote unquote, fair and balanced, right? They want us to also criticize Democrats, which we do.
We do all the time.
But there's a clear difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in this country. And the Republican Party is anti-democracy.
Yeah.
And so if we're talking about which party poses the biggest threat, we are going to be focusing on the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Because they pose the biggest threat to our democracy.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I think that this story encapsulates that well, illustrates that, because again, like you said, there were other options here that they had, but they're trying to send a message.
Less extreme options, but extreme is what the Republican Party does best. Mm-hmm. So, listen, we'd love to know what you think about this, especially if you live in Tennessee, especially if you live in one of these districts of these individuals in Tennessee. 657-464-7609. Of course, you can email a voice memo from your smartphone to idoubt@dollemore.com.